The moment you stop running after people, you see who's actually walking with you. My friends, life has a funny way of teaching us lessons. Some hit us soft, some shake us to our core, but there's one truth that always stands tall. The moment you stop chasing is the moment the truth reveals itself. Stay with me, because today we're about to uncover something powerful. If you've ever felt like you're the one always giving, always caring, always trying, only to be met with indifference, this is for you. If you've ever felt like your energy is fueling someone who barely lifts a finger for you, this is your wake-up call. And before we dive deep, do yourself a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Not just because I said so, but because you're about to hear something that might just change the way you see yourself and the way you let people treat you. Now let's talk about it. And hey ladies, imagine this. You're standing in front of a vending machine. You keep putting in your money, pressing the button, expecting something in return, but nothing comes out. You shake it, you hit it, you even check if you press the right button. Still, nothing. At what point do you stop putting in your money and walk away? This is what happens when you keep investing your time, energy, and love into someone who gives you nothing back. At first, you don't see it. You think, maybe if I try a little harder, maybe if I do more, maybe if I'm more patient. But then one day something clicks. You stop, you step back, and suddenly everything shifts. It's in that moment that you realize you were the glue, you were the effort, you were the backbone. And when you take that effort away, the whole dynamic changes. Some people will realize what they lost, some won't. Either way, you win. Because here's what they don't tell you. People don't value what's always available. Scarcity creates demand. That's why diamonds are locked in safes, not scattered on the sidewalk. That's why VIP sections exist. That's why the best things in life require effort. And so when you finally pull back, when you finally stop making it easy, their reaction tells you everything. Will they step up, or will they fade away? Will they fight for you, or will they let you go? But here's the best part. You don't have to ask. You don't have to chase an answer. You don't have to beg for clarity. Just like when you stop texting first, you instantly see who actually wants to talk to you. Silence is a lie detector. When you stop pouring your energy into someone, you see if they ever had any of their own to give. And most of the time, the answer is no. Because the hard truth is this: some people don't appreciate you. They just appreciate what you do for them. And when you stop doing it, when you pull back, they're left standing there confused, shocked, wondering why the sun that was warming them suddenly disappeared. But my friends, let me remind you of something. You are not the sun for someone who refuses to shine on their own. You are not meant to light up someone's world while they leave you in the dark. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about being cold or manipulative. This is about self-respect. And self-respect means knowing when to step back, knowing when enough is enough, knowing when to stop pouring into an empty cup. So if you've ever felt exhausted from giving, if you've ever felt like you're running on empty because you've been pouring into people who never pour back, let today be the day you take your power back. Because the truth is, the right people will never need you to chase them. The right people will never risk losing you. And when you finally stop running, when you finally stand still, you'll see who was actually walking with you all along. Stay strong, stay valuable, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. And now go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and remember, you are the prize. Never forget it. Number 1, the power of self-respect. When you learn how much you're worth, you'll stop giving people discounts. My friends, let's get real. Self-respect is not a luxury. It's a necessity. It's the foundation of everything you allow into your life. Without it, you're like a house with no walls, exposed, vulnerable, and at the mercy of whatever storm comes your way. But here's the hard truth. The world treats you the way you treat yourself. Imagine walking into a high-end store. The floors shine, the products are displayed with care, and there's a quiet sense of exclusivity. Nobody haggles over prices. Nobody argues about the worth of what's on the shelves, because the price is set. And if you can't afford it, you walk away. Now imagine a bargain bin in a discount store. Items are thrown around, picked up, tossed back, stepped on. People rummage through it, not caring about the mess they leave behind. Ask yourself, how have you been presenting yourself? Are you the high-value store standing firm on your worth, or are you letting people rummage through your heart like a clearance rack? See, self-respect isn't about arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than anyone. It's about knowing you're not less. A lion doesn't beg for respect. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't chase after anyone, hoping to be noticed. It simply exists, and the world recognizes its presence. That's self-respect. But here's where people get stuck. Fear. What if they leave? What if I end up alone? What if I demand too much and no one meets my standards? Let me flip that on you. What if you don't? What if you keep lowering your standards until you don't even recognize yourself? What if you keep settling for less and end up living a life that doesn't even make you happy? Listen, respect isn't given, it's earned. And the first person you have to earn it from is yourself. That means setting boundaries and sticking to them. That means walking away when you're not valued. That means saying no when every part of you wants to say yes, just to keep the peace. But the beautiful thing, the moment you start respecting yourself, the world follows suit. The wrong people will fall away, but the right people, they will rise to meet you. Because real recognizes real. Value attracts value. And when you finally stand firm in who you are, you stop attracting people who need you to shrink. So here's my challenge to you. Start setting the tone. Start walking like you know you deserve the best. Because you do. And trust me, when you do that, something incredible happens. People who once overlooked you will suddenly start paying attention. But by then, my friends, it might just be too late for them. Stay with me, because next, we're talking about something even more powerful. The way people treat you and how you unknowingly train them to do it. You don't want to miss this. Number 2, you teach people how to treat you. What you allow is what will continue. My friends, let's have a real conversation. People treat you the way you allow them to. Every single day, through your actions, your silence, your tolerance, you are teaching people how they can treat you. Now let me hit you with a question. If you walked into a 5-star restaurant and saw them serving food on paper plates, would you still think it was 5-star? Probably not. That's exactly how life works. You can say you deserve respect, love, and loyalty all day long, but if you keep accepting crumbs, people will assume that's all you need. Here's the raw truth. You set the price tag on your worth. If you keep offering discounts, don't be surprised when people stop valuing you. If you allow late replies, broken promises, and half-hearted effort, you're teaching people that it's okay to give you less. If you keep forgiving without change, you're teaching them that there are no consequences for hurting you. If you always make yourself available, even after being ignored, you're showing them that your time isn't precious. And the more they get away with, the more they'll take. But the moment you say no more, everything shifts. Suddenly, the people who took you for granted start to panic. They realize the free ride is over. They either step up or they step out. Either way, you win. Because here's what they don't tell you. You're not controlling others, you're controlling yourself. You can't force someone to treat you right. You can't beg someone to respect you. But what you can do is set a standard and refuse to accept anything less. And listen, setting standards doesn't make you difficult. It makes you clear. Think about it. Nobody argues with gravity. Nobody wakes up mad that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, because that's the standard. That's just how it is. Now imagine if you carried yourself with the same level of certainty. If you walked through life with the mindset of, this is who I am, this is how I deserve to be treated, and anything less is simply not an option. You wouldn't have to explain yourself. You wouldn't have to fight for respect. It would be automatic. But here's the best part. When you stop tolerating less, you make room for more. You stop wasting time on people who don't deserve you. You stop chasing people who were never meant for you. You stop bending over backward for relationships that should have ended long ago. And when that happens, something incredible takes place. The right people start showing up. The ones who see your worth without you having to prove it. The ones who respect your boundaries without you having to fight for it. Because, my friends, real recognizes real. So the question is, what are you teaching people about how to treat you? Stay with me. Because next, we're about to separate the talkers from the doers. Actions over words. This is where the truth comes out. Number 3, actions over words. Don't tell me what you're going to do. Show me what you've already done. My friends, let's be honest. Talk is cheap. Words are easy. Promises are effortless. Anyone can say, "I care about you. I'll change. You mean everything to me." But words without action are just noise. Imagine this, you're holding a plant in your hands. You water it every day, take care of it, make sure it gets sunlight, it grows, it thrives. But one day you stop. No more water, no more care. If it's real, it will struggle, but it will fight to survive. If it's fake, it will look the same, because it was never alive to begin with. The same thing happens with people. When you stop trying, when you pull back your energy, you see the truth. Was it ever real, or were you the only one keeping it alive? See, too many people fall for words. They hold on to potential instead of reality. They believe the promises instead of looking at the proof. But here's what you need to understand. Love isn't spoken, it's shown. Commitment isn't a feeling, it's an action. So if a man says he values you, but he never makes time for you, his actions are the truth. If he says he'll change, but he keeps doing the same thing, his actions are the truth. If he claims you're important, but you always feel like an option, his actions are the truth. And here's where it gets real. You don't even have to confront him. You don't have to ask. You don't have to beg for answers. Just stop trying. Silence is a mirror. It forces people to reveal who they truly are. Stop calling first. Stop making the plans. Stop being the one who always fixes things. Then sit back and watch. Will he step up or will he disappear? Because a man who values you won't need to be reminded. He won't need to be tested. He will already be showing you through his actions. And if he doesn't, then my friend, you never had him in the first place. This isn't about games. This isn't about manipulation. This is about clarity. The hardest truth, sometimes the silence you give will be met with silence in return, and that will hurt, but it will also set you free. Because now you can stop wondering. Now you can stop making excuses for someone who was never showing up for you in the first place. So don't listen to words. Don't hold on to empty promises. Let the actions speak. Because at the end of the day, the people who truly care about you will never put you in a position where you have to question it. And trust me, once you learn this, you'll never fall for words again. Stay with me, because next, we're talking about what happens when you finally take your power back, when the balance shifts and the game changes. You don't want to miss this. Number 4, the shift in power from them to you. The day you stop watering dead plants is the day you realize they were never going to grow. My friends, let's make something crystal clear. Pulling away isn't about playing games. It's about realignment. It's about shifting your energy from people who drain you to places that nourish you. See, we've been taught to believe that the more we give, the more valuable we are. That love means endless patience, endless sacrifice, endless effort. But let me ask you, when has chasing ever made someone appreciate you? Imagine this. You've got a candle. You use it to light up other people's lives, to bring warmth, to give light where there was darkness. But instead of appreciating your flame, some people keep blowing it out, intentionally or carelessly, yet you keep relighting it for them over and over. At what point do you stop? At what point do you realize that your light is too valuable to be wasted on people who don't care if you burn out? Here's where the shift in power happens. The moment you stop trying, the moment you stop pouring into the wrong people, everything changes. And I know what you're thinking, but what if they leave? What if they stop talking to me? What if they don't care? Then you have your answer. People who truly care don't walk away when you set boundaries. They step up. They meet you at your level. They don't need you to beg, to chase, to prove your worth. The hard truth, some people don't love you. They love the version of you that benefits them. When you stop giving endlessly, when you stop breaking your own boundaries just to keep the peace, the people who were only there for what you provided will disappear. And guess what? That's a blessing. Because the ones who stay, the ones who step up, the ones who see your worth, even when you're not bending over backward for them, those are your people. This shift in power isn't about revenge. It's not about punishing anyone. It's about balance. It's about making sure that your energy is being reciprocated. It's about realizing that your worth does not decrease just because someone else refuses to see it. And the best part, you don't even have to say a word. Just step back. Watch what happens. Observe. Because people's actions in your absence speak louder than anything they ever said in your presence. Some will rise, some will fall away. Either way, you win. Because at the end of the day, the right ones will never make you feel like you have to beg for the love, respect, or effort that should come naturally. And next, we're talking about standing firm in your worth. Because once you shift the power back to yourself, you need to know exactly how to hold that ground. Stay with me. Number 5, standing firm in your worth. You don't lose people when you set boundaries, you lose the ones who are only benefiting from you having none. My friends, let's talk about something powerful, standing firm in your worth. Because let's be real, the moment you start setting standards, some people will call you difficult. They'll say you're being too much, too picky, too demanding. But let me tell you something. You are not too much. They were just never enough. Imagine this, you're the queen of a powerful kingdom. You sit on your throne not because you're better than anyone, but because you know your worth. And outside your gates, people line up, wanting access to your time, your energy, your love. And now let me ask you, are you letting just anyone walk in, or are you standing firm, watching to see who's actually worthy of stepping inside? Because here's the truth, boundaries aren't walls, they're gates, and you are the one holding the key. But too often, people mistake boundaries for being cold, for shutting others out. That's not what this is about. Boundaries aren't about keeping people away. They're about letting the right ones in. But doubt creeps in, doesn't it? That little voice in your head whispers, what if they get mad? What if they leave? What if I'm asking for too much? Let me flip that for you. What if you're not asking for enough? What if you've been accepting the bare minimum for so long that basic decency feels like a luxury? What if the ones who get mad at your boundaries are only angry because they can no longer take advantage of you? Listen closely. People who truly value you will never be offended by your standards. A queen doesn't run through the streets begging people to respect her. She sits, watches, and lets people prove themselves. That's how you need to move. Not in arrogance, but in certainty, in confidence. Because here's what happens when you stand firm. The right people rise to meet your standards, and the wrong ones fall away. And I know that falling away part, it stings. It makes you wonder if you're doing the right thing. But let me tell you something. What's meant for you will never require you to beg, shrink, or compromise your worth. So stand firm, hold the line, watch who steps up. And the ones who don't, let them walk. Because trust me, the ones who truly see your value will never risk losing you. Stay with me, because next we're talking about something even deeper, the greatest power you hold. And once you understand this, you'll never see yourself the same way again. Number 6, the greatest power you hold. A diamond never begs to be noticed. It simply shines, and the right people recognize its value. My friends, let's make one thing clear. Losing interest isn't giving up, it's waking up. It's seeing things as they are, not as you wish they would be. It's realizing that no amount of effort can make someone value you if they simply don't. And here's the truth. A man's reaction when he feels your absence is all the answer you need. Imagine this. You've been watering a plant for months. You give it sunlight, you care for it, you do everything right. But no matter what you do, it doesn't grow. One day, you stop watering it. And guess what? It doesn't wither. It doesn't change. That's when you realize it was never alive to begin with. Some of you are pouring your time, your love, and your energy into things that were never real. You're waiting for someone to notice your worth, to appreciate your effort, to suddenly wake up and love you the way you love them. But let me tell you something. Real love doesn't need to be forced. Real love doesn't need reminders. Real love sees you. And when you finally pull back, when you stop doing all the heavy lifting, that's when the truth comes out. Does he fight for you? Does he step up? Or does he let you walk away without a second thought? Because here's the thing. A man who truly values you will never risk losing you. You don't have to beg. You don't have to chase. You don't have to convince someone to see your worth. Think of a diamond. It doesn't yell, "Look at me." It doesn't chase after people, hoping they'll pick it up. It just exists, strong, unbreakable, and rare. And the right people? They recognize its value instantly. That's the power you hold. And the moment you stop proving yourself, the moment you stop begging for attention, the moment you realize that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee, everything shifts. And yes, some people will be shocked. They'll act confused. They'll wonder why the sun they took for granted suddenly isn't shining on them anymore. But my friends, you are not the sun for people who refuse to light up their own world. And so stop trying to fix people. Stop trying to make someone see what they should have seen all along. If they don't recognize your value now, they never truly will. Walk tall, stand firm, never settle. Because at the end of the day, the greatest power you hold is this, the power to walk away. And when you do, you'll see exactly who was real and who was just comfortable having you around. So my friends, remember this, you are the prize. You never have to beg for love, attention, or respect. The right people will never need convincing. So stand tall, walk with confidence, and never settle for less than you deserve. If this message hit home, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's spread this truth together, and drop a comment below. What was your biggest takeaway? I want to hear from you. Stay strong, stay valuable, and as always, keep shining. See you in the next one.